Yo, it's your boy DBJ.
It's your boy Bo.
It's your boy AD.
It's your boy Tim.
It's your boy Brent. And together we are.
James from the cell.
Go ahead, Bo. What you had?
I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie.
man.
I ain't gonna lie. We a little tipsy, but we on
Speak for
serious.
yourself.
Fuck, you tipsy.
Right.
for
I gotta
yourself,
go to
bro.
work. I ain't
Yeah,
tipsy.
you tipsy, man.
I'm tipsy.
Okay.
On a serious note, I do want to focus on the issue of what's the fuck going on in Jackson. And the fact that the immaturity of motherfuckers, for you know I broke this shit down to my brother.
What you telling?
Niggas are running into the back of motherfuckers and carjacking them. And what I explained to him is, say you got 3 cars, folks. You don't have a title to them, so you can't sell them for full price. I said 3 cars. I'll give you $30,000 for it. You go to jail for 20. You could have made more money at McDonald's within them 20 years.
Way to break it down, bro.
So what's the point in you fucking breaking into a nigga house? It's something they work hard for.
That's what pissed me off the other day.
That's
Dude,
a-
what?
Folks, I guess you don't understand the
I
situation.
sure called it slow.
He drunk.
No, I didn't say it slow.
No, I'm
saying I didn't understand what you were
saying.
saying.
You didn't connect the dots good.
So
20 years in the payments.
You said you could have made way more than $30,000.
So I'll break it down again, folks.
They didn't
So
make
you
that
so
much.
you robbing cars and you fucking run into the back of people and you stealing their cars.
Yeah.
Say you get 10,000 a car, that's 30,000, right?
Oh, once you steal the car, you sell it for 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They not
And you
even
can't
selling
because
for that.
you can't sell it for that much because you don't have a title
And you hit the back of it.
and you hit the back of it. So and then the point is you gonna go to jail. Somebody eventually gonna catch you. This and the reason we bringing this up because I'm trying to understand the maturity. And it's not maturity, for maybe we need to speak to these kids more. And maybe part of it is the older people problem that we don't speak to these kids more and get them to understand money and how money works.
they probably not listening. Though.
It's a hard time right now though, bro.
It can be a hard
We got
time.
inflation going on, gas high, houses high, cars are
Okay,
more
so
expensive
I,
than ever.
and what all you said is you make more money working at McDonald's.
Who said that you make more money?
You
right
say,
now?
the thing is, I think you get it quicker.
Yeah,
I think, but see, this is my
Bad
problem.
money.
This is
It
my
take you.
problem.
It's gonna
bro.
take you all year to get $10,000.
But if you go to jail, you don't get that money anymore. So like,
But if I don't go,
Now, I
to
think
jail,
that's the problem.
who don't go to jail?
I don't
All
even-
these motherfuckers that rob
I
people
just
go to
wanna-
jail.
Bro, they been doing this
Not
shit for 3
everybody.
days, bro.
Bro,
Alright.
I just want to say this.
For how many people they done crashed in 2 and 3 days?
Bro,
Alright.
over 20.
They done crashed over 20 people.
It's
You talking
different.
about 10,000 times 20?
No, it's not. But this ain't the same person. But it's not one person breaking into a car. So I ever get it's the same person.
every
it-
criminal don't go to jail, folks.
Every criminal go to jail, but most criminals go to jail.
Let me
And you still don't make that much money. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You ain't making $100,000
It probably ain't
breaking
about
into
the money.
cars and fucking stealing stuff from people's houses. You
It probably
don't.
ain't about the money.
What is
If it ain't
about?
about the money, I need these niggas to be killed. If it ain't about the money,
Yeah,
Lifestyle, bro.
no,
It's
no,
that adrenaline.
No, listen, and this is my thing, because this is what pissed me off the other day. And somebody also got robbed today. My thing is, you could go to work, live a regular lifestyle. People work hard, and what you saying, inflation, grocery, gas, it sounds to me like everybody's having a hard time, and you the only bitch ass niggas. I said I was gonna stop doing it. Y'all the only people out here that's saying, man, it's hard out here, so I need to rob somebody else to get what I need.
And we all struggling.
Bro, that is pathetic, bro. I need people to stop promoting and saying that, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting out the mud. If you was getting out the mud for your family, you would get a job. You would do something respectable. It ain't nothing respectable about robbing somebody who's working theyself, bro. You robbing ladies on their lunch breaks. You a coward, bro.
Good folks. And my thing is, you can get a CDL license in 6 weeks. And
Bro, if you drive trucks, you'll always have a job.
Bro, y'all missing the point, folks.
What's the point?
These folks ain't disciplined.
Yeah,
They ain't trying to go to job.
folks, it
wasted-
takes folks. This is what pisses me off. It takes 60 weeks and you'll make $60,000 to $100,000.
6 weeks every day you going to do something you don't want to do.
And you make $60,000 to $100,000.
So this honestly what it
You keep
reminds
missing
me
his
of.
work, bro.
Yes.
Everybody don't want to work, bro.
This what it reminds me.
Niggas
of.
need to get put down, bro. I've been saying it.
It
I've been saying
It
it.
reminds me of when they take they done experiments where they taking like homeless people, take like 1 or 2 homeless people off the streets, right? They giving them a house, they gave them a job, things to do like that, and 9 times out of 10, some of those homeless people go back to live on the streets because
They'd
they
rather-
enjoy their lifestyle, right? So my thing is, I kind of broke this down to y'all the little statistics the other day. I don't think it's a race thing.
You don't.
Me personally, I don't think it's. It's a race. It's a race component to it, but I'm gonna get to it. Let me
Go
get to
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
So, crime normally happens in poor, uneducated regions of whatever town or wherever place you're in, whether it be white or whether it be black. So you go to the ghettos, you go to the hood, you see poverty. Most of the time, low education follows. Wherever that is, crime normally follows. You go to the trailer parks. They have poor education, jobs, poverty, all that stuff right there. Crime is normally higher in the area. Disproportionately, there are more impoverished areas due to whatever systemic, whatever things you want to put on it, just so happens to be their way. So this is the point where I feel the race component comes into it. In the white community, they don't have anything perpetuating those activities. If you do it, you trailer park trash. You're beneath us. You're doing those poor, unbecoming activities. In the black community, when I turn on the music, it's saying, I spun a nigga block, I did X, Y, and Z, I caught a jug, I did yeah. So those popular forms of music, entertainment, fast life is being perpetuated. So therefore, if I'm in those situations, I'm probably gonna do that more.
Okay. My thing with that whole what you just said, AD. I agree with. And it's really weird for me to even say this. That whiter portion you said, and how certain things are deemed less than. It still stays. It's still there. It's still in the black community. With me thinking that a lot of us, this group right here, we're all black. We're part of the black community. I think it's beneath us to stoop to that level.
And this is, put a pin right there. This is where in those same two scenarios I put that there is a drastic difference. Because robbing, stealing, doing all this stuff, does it happen in the middle class community, in the black community? Probably not. In a high class black community, do you think that happens? Or black range tax bracket? They're not robbing stealing people. They're not doing that. So, but that culture translates through all the children too, right? So that same music that the lower class person listens to, the high class kids listen to that same stuff too. True. So it's perpetuating through all ranks but that same high class, I'm a white guy, I came from, my parents are lawyers, X, Y, and Z. They might listen to the same music, but in their mind, know, I'm not finna do that. It's dumb. I'm not finna go break into somebody's house. But we might have somebody, and we've seen instances where that high class child,
they prefer that
lifestyle because it's more popular, right? So I'm willing to do more stupid stuff, even though I have the resources not to do it. But I'm gonna do it because that's what my culture deems popular to do.
And do you think this is one thing? So the whole fuck nigga thing. No, it's a real shit.
Explain. Go ahead.
So like the whole especially when you're younger, it's mostly when you're young. Like women, they're attracted to like fuck niggas because that's what's popularized. The fuck nigga that got a little money, he can throw this. Because I explained this to some girls, I can't remember who it was. They're like, the reason that's popular when you're younger in high school and college, because they do have more money cash in college and high school because like nigga, they ain't started real life. They staying with their grandma, they staying with their mama, and then the damn nigga in college that really wants some shit, he might be staying in a dorm, but he broke. But I'm like, that's a maturity thing that you need to mature to understand that fucking money you making through weed is not legit, and it's not as much money as you would be making, say, as an engineer making 70.
Yes.
So like, is it like the reason I say this is because like if women like it, niggas don't do it.
Yeah.
So like I'm not blaming women for it, I'm blaming the culture for it because like culturalized, it's popularized. Therefore, it makes it more prevalent in our community.
And I feel you on it. And I feel you too, AD. But everything circles around to one thing to me.
What was that?
Intellect. Because I feel like those poverty-stricken kids who are usually in those black neighborhoods, they should see the downfalls in the shit that they're doing.
You don't think it's smart criminals?
No, I do think it's smart criminals. And if you look at the statistics, those people who live in those higher tier neighborhoods, they do different type of crimes, and the crimes that they do don't have the same amount of time involved. So the stupid shit that you're doing, you get more time for. There are people who do fraud. They don't usually look like us. They don't look like us. I'm gonna just say that. They don't usually look like this. I'm not gonna say what they look like, but they don't look like us. We do the shit. We're gonna be right there dead in center. We're gonna shoot somebody if they ain't give up the car. That just happened recently 3 times. We're doing the bottom tier shit. It's stupid. People working hard for this shit, and you're doing the dumbest crime you could do that gets the most time. You're a fucking idiot.
That's another thing based on what you said too. Even just hearing you talk, and I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not taking shots at all. But that's something that we do, and I just did it then. We say we and us, whereas when the white community, when Jacob goes and does a crime, that's just Jacob. Jacob wouldn't did that crime. But that's our blessing and our curse at the same time, is that we so one, we're so connected, we're so intertwined, we feel like we're in this together. Oh, he did a crime. Well, we as a black people have to stop doing X, Y, and Z, yada, yada. Why can't just be, oh no, he did that. That's that dumbass. Because I like what you said too. Like, and I'm accused, I lumped them all up in the group, but every person in that same poor, low-income community is not out there committing crimes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so we lump everybody in together as a black culture and say, we have to come together and stop doing this. Well, in other cultures, they like, nah, Tommy did that dumb shit. Or Jacob did that dumb shit. Not the white community. They did that.
I feel like we have to accept some responsibility for it. Only because no matter what you do, you're associated. We being black people. You're associated even if you're not the same as him. You're associated just because you look like him.
I don't look like him.
Yes, you do. Just like people that don't look us up. Let's just say we were talking about shooting up a school. I know for a fact because I associate all those people with one race. I promise he wasn't black. I can say that at the end of the day, and I promise it 9 times out of 10, it's a fact. He doesn't look like me, but meaning he's not black. Black people don't shoot up schools. That's not something that we're involved in. That's not something that our culture produces. But I can say the nigga who got robbed at the gas station or at the red light, who did the carjacking and shot somebody on his way out. Oh yeah, he probably did look like me. I can say that. So when I say we, I'm just saying I know it's certain things that we're associated with.
But if you say we, you mean you making it seem like we're allowing it. I don't know none of these niggas doing this.
We're upholding it.
I ain't holding nothing. I don't know nothing. What I'm gonna do?
That's why I think on the last episode I was talking about social media and how it can be a plus and a minus and how much power it has. So it's a social media in itself can make things like carjacking, or like as a black community, we can make stuff not popular. Like we can make marriage and loving your own people. We can make that shit popular. And the same thing, we can make carjacking popular. So that's why I think we have to stop saying that younger people are like worse than we are, is because we can take advantage of these things. We can make right now, like as a podcast, we have started to make like shit. For the most part, we married are seeking marriage.
Yeah.
Therefore, we can make that shit popular. Like nigga, just cause now motherfuckers selling dope and shit, that shit ain't gotta be popular. We can make like in middle school. We all went, for the most part, went to Sidewell. Everybody became a gang member, and it was because it was popular. But if we said shit, nah, nigga, I love my fucking woman. Fuck that shit. Nah, that's my fucking woman. It become popular, which makes it popular among the rest of our.
I don't think it's popular. I just think we're the new news. Like social media is the new news.
Yeah, that's what
news reporters.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I mean by that.
But like, it's just more and more people are talking about it, and it's easier to spread it around faster because it's negative. Everybody talks about negative.
Because
that's what I mean, though.
But the thing is,
it's not popular though.
No,
that is popular.
It is popular.
That is popular.
News is popular.
That's just
Trending or whatever.
No,
that's popularity.
That's just like reality shows. People, and it comes back again to internet. Everything, it all comes full circle. People nowadays, they can't separate reality and fake news. They can't social life. They can't say, well, I don't think all these rappers, you know, feel like fuck these hoes or like the city girls. The city girls, they talk about certain shit, but what's her name? Carisha booed the fuck up. We can't separate that because we don't want to separate it. And when I say we, I'm not saying me. I'm saying I know plenty of women that look like me, that have the same skin tone as me, and they rap that stuff and they feel like that's real life, even though it isn't.
That's why I have the disdain for it, because it's like some people have a hard time separating entertainment versus real life.
Yeah, it's all
Like
the
what they're talking about is strictly entertainment. When you take those things and try to act on those things or try to accept it as law or life or how I should go about life, that's when it becomes the issue. Like, I can listen to all this stuff all day and I'm not finna go out and act on what I just heard.
Yeah.
Some people, it's not entertainment. Some people really live like that.
That's what I'm saying. And they do, because clearly, my thing is too, clearly they're rapping about it, so it has to come from a real place. They're not rapping about stuff that they've never seen before.
Yeah.
But my thing is, everybody that enjoys their music doesn't start off doing those same actions either. You know what I'm saying? They hear that, and then too, that's a whole separate issue. If you really out there doing that, and then you hear something and it confirms what you're doing, that's one issue. The issue I have is with people that's not even cut like that.
They hearing
that music,
Yeah.
and then want to act on
Yeah.
it. Bro, what are you doing? You adding more to the problem we already have.
Their
right.
destiny.
I mean, it
It's
is
not
what it
destiny,
is. It don't have to be.
bro. Like,
it's
it's dumb
stupidity.
as hell. Like, that doesn't make sense. I hate people that come from good families and they to be the ones that fuck up the whole shit. You're the fucking problem. I hate people who come from good homes and they fuck it off and now they're a problem. Their kids gonna be a problem. And it's like, for what? Because you dumb as hell? I'd rather you go your ass in the backyard and just fucking put your head in the ground, bro. And just stay there, bro. Just get the fuck out of the way. It's like everybody else is trying to, you know, be positive, trying to like spread the love.
And then think about how much privilege that is at the end of the day.
What?
That the fact that I have all the resources, I come from a decent setup, and I'm choosing to go, because we went to a high school where a lot of kids who weren't privileged to have certain things, and from a rough area, right? They're in that environment because they have no other choice.
Thanks.
That's what they grew up in. And if 9 times out of 10, I feel like if I talked to them one-on-one, they would say, I would have preferred to grow up in a different type of environment. I don't want to be in this.
Yeah.
But then for you to come from this place of privilege where you have
You
this
fucking idiot.
and you say, nah, I want that. How much privilege do you have to just throw it away and say, I'm going to do these activities
But that's
and
what
participate?
I would
See,
talk to
that's
you.
why I don't get mad at the white people when they say that was Jake. Because I'm the same way. Like, you're not your family. You are upbringing. You are not your environment. You are yourself. You are your actions and your choices.
Everybody got their own
then
path.
too, I think that I agree with that too. Like, I'm my own being. I think the disconnect comes is that society doesn't view us as your own being. Society views you as like, if you do it, if you go rob a store, all the black people robbing the store on 80 again, guys, don't go to there. But it was just Brent that went and did that. It wasn't Brent, Tim, DVJ, AD. It wasn't us. It was Brent that did that. But the culture lumps us. So even though if we view it as, oh no, that's just the individual did it, culture views us as that race has done that.
I wish we had that privilege, though. We don't have that privilege.
That's not a privilege.
We don't have that privilege.
Well, you have it. You can do it.
I mean, you might feel like you had that privilege.
Take it back to your statement. Who shot up this school?
But
It looked like a
Who shot who? No. Who robbed that old lady?
Daquan.
You got the same thing.
But I don't. The reason I understand what y'all saying is because a larger percent of our community is committing the crimes. So, like, for example, we can use Jackson as an example. Like, most of the people that commit crime in Jackson are black. Like, that's just a fact. And it's a larger percentage than the people in Pearl that are white committing crimes. They have crimes in that area. It's not the larger percentage, though.
And then, too, one thing.
And it's different type of crime.
And it's a strength and a weakness. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, it's a weakness because we get lumped in with people who doing stupid stuff. But at the same time, us having that closeness and connectiveness and being together can be a strength. And we're not the only community that's like that. The Jewish community sticks together through thick or thin. The Chinese community stick together thick and thin. The Japanese stick together thick and thin. Every other community sticks together. It's just that we don't hear about their stupid ones that's doing the crime.
So who do y'all have a problem with more? The people that do the crimes or the people that make it popular?
I think the people that do the crime, because you have to be able to. People gonna always put stuff in front of you. You have to be smart enough to decide on what to do and what not to do.
But see, that was my thing earlier. Remember, we talked about this the other day when you were saying how like if you come from a poverty-stricken area, then you're more likely to do certain things. But that's not always the case, because the triangle says that is one of the problems. If you need money, you're desperate enough,
You're going
to do something drastic. But it's also having that opportunity, because it's people who have money, but it's like, oh, I can get a little extra on the side. The opportunity presented itself, they're in the right position. They feel like they can get away with it. Then you have the people who just are in it for the game. Those are the people I have the problem with, because it's the lifestyle.
They got away with it for me.
It's what?
The people that got away with it.
The people that got away with it?
Yeah. They're the only people that speak about it. People that get in trouble for it, they don't come back like, hell yeah, I got trouble for it.
They be trying to tell you to get right.
Yeah, but the ones that get away with it, them to be the main ones that be like, I got away with it, bro. You can do this.
I don't be feeling like that's a lot of people though.
I think the vast.
What you think the mainstream social media and rappers and shit?
Rappers fake.
I mean, most people don't get caught in
Let's
the
get
act.
back. Let's get back.
It only
No.
take 10 minutes to
But
tell somebody you just did this.
But let's get back to it. Let's get back to the entertainment purposes. What messes me up with people and them not realizing that the person that they know as a rapper, the person that they know as a singer, these people are just like actors. This is my role. There are people in my camp promoting me this way. They say, hey, bro, you got to keep talking about these type of things, because this is what's drawing the people in. The reason why they fuck with you is because you're saying these type of things. You can't dress a certain way, because if you do that, you changing up your whole image, then you're going to lose. That's what I'm saying. You can't be. That's not who they are in real life.
And then
I really don't think music plays that big of a part in criminal.
I don't. But
all.
on your point though is the other thing is you have to really, even though they're rapping about the thing, even if they say they did all this shit, what they're rich off of is their rapping. Not that they commit all these crimes, they did all this shit they say in the lyrics. No, they rich because they're rapping.
Because then they got a good beat.
But see, even with that though, I feel like rapping is the small part. Rapping is just the finished product, or even the opening product that draws you into all this. I feel like people are addicted to the lifestyle. Think about NBA YoungBoy. People love NBA. They like his rapping.
They love NBA,
but they like the way he dressed. They like the way he talked. They like that he got a bunch of different women, X, Y, and Z. So the rapping is just what opened the door for you.
Yeah.
And that can be negative or positive.
Yeah.
Same thing with Rick Ross. Rapping is the one that opened the door for him. After opening the door, he got invested in Wingstop. He started getting in livestock. He started buying land. Started doing all this other stuff. Well, rapping is like the farthest thing from his mind right now.
Yeah.
That's what opened the door, but he decided to capitalize on it.
But to think about all the stuff you named that he capitalized off, it's nothing that's like illegal. So he ain't capitalized off selling dope.
That's what I say. It can happen for better or for worse.
Breaking into people's cars. He ain't fucking scamming.
But that's not what
he did capitalize off all that.
Yeah, this is what
if you
he
do that
started
first,
rapping. He started rapping.
No, he capitalized off rapping about it. He didn't capitalize.
If you get the money from that first,
Nah, he wasn't
you
doing it.
use
Wasn't he
that
like a
money to
security
do other
guard?
things. Well, that's what you use.
But
that
he
money
capitalized off talking about it.
Yeah, he talking
not
about it.
actually
That's not his
doing the
lifestyle.
action.
That's not his
not doing the
lifestyle.
action of stealing and robbing.
That's why the other guy
That's why
tried
it's
to sue him.
bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? That's why my problem is the people who don't make the decision that understand that that's BS. That's not real. I have to be smart enough to look at that and say, oh, that's just entertainment. I'm not finna fall into that.
Because just because I'm talking about selling crap and selling dope, I'm agreeing with you, Eddie. Don't mean that's what I'm getting rich off of. I'm getting rich off the fact that I'm rapping. And then I reinvest that stuff into stuff that's legalized. So that's my problem with people
Man,
that's
people that are selling bricks and stuff like that get way more money than rapping folks.
no, they don't. You don't name one
Okay.
person. No. Rich, you can't say that without naming a
Folks,
person.
a lot of folks didn't,
Name a person.
folks, a lot of folks back in the day didn't even get paid for their music. Period.
Brent,
They would
name
get pennies for their
name a
music.
person.
That's literally what they always
Name
talk
a
about
person.
The
nowadays.
only thing that
I don't know none of these folks bank accounts.
So,
like
so you
don't.
can't say that's not a factual
only
statement.
thing-
You can't say the way
That's,
you
that's,
is.
a bad, that's a bad argument if you don't got nobody to drop.
Folks, name your
I'm
people
naming a
names,
rapper. It's Rick Ross.
You don't know what he used his money for. He could have used the dirty money to get to where he at now.
He was
You
a
don't know
security
that,
guard.
folks.
But even in that situation, with that being true, because I believe back in the day when rap first kicked off, was dope boys making more money than rappers? Yes, it's evident because people like Freeway Rick Ross aided Anita Baker in her singing career. Before, if that wasn't the case, my thing is that money doesn't last long term. Everyone who started off selling dope to make their money, they always got caught. Freeway Rick Ross got caught. Most of the drug dealers, their money doesn't last long term. Whereas singers, Rick Ross money gonna last long term because it's all legit. So yeah, you might get that little quick fix of being a big dog on top for like a matter of 5 years. You may be the top dog, but that 6th year when you finally got to do that fed time because you got caught,
Hey, dude.
then you only was on top for 5 years.
And you know the person I always name. But I feel like there's nobody else to name. It's all these people out here pretending like they living so great off of selling drugs. And they not, bro. They live in the same lifestyle they could have lived had they just got a job. But what comes with this lifestyle is certain types of women like these type of people. And then it's like you said, it seems like it'll last, but it never does.
It's quick money.
My thing is, I always say Pablo Escobar. Because if you check the stats, there's been nobody who surpassed him in revenue, profits. He's making billions. Got a guy over here, he live in Jackson, he live in, you know what I'm saying? He from Atlanta. He do his thing, you know what I'm saying? He keeping a low profile, but he's not making that money. And he's risking his freedom and his life. He's a fucking idiot. In 2022, it's hard enough as is without you saying fuck me.
And then too, as you talk about that, everything in their lifestyle doesn't last. Because even the woman that you're doing all this for to impress is only with you. Because we heard women talk about, my man can't have a 9-to-5 job. I
need somebody willing to risk their freedom to provide for me.
But listen, even she has to understand that you risking your freedom, you can do this, you can provide for me now, but eventually you're going to get caught. Eventually you're going to go away. And then she's going to find her another scammer.
Because you're replaceable.
Because you're replaceable. So everything in their life doesn't last. You only hot for as long as you hot, and then you gone. The girl that you was doing this for is only with you until you gone.
And
now
she'll
you
do
can't
that for anybody else who does the exact same thing that you do.
Yes, because I'm just looking for somebody that can give me quick cash.
Right.
So it's like everything in lifestyle is not long term, but it gives you a certain level of clout, a certain level of relevancy that if I come from a poor, impoverished, uneducated area where I didn't have, now I'm able to afford things that I've never afforded before. I'm able to buy things that I never was able to buy before. I'm able to do things, travel places, do things that I haven't done before. You're willing to risk it. And that's not the smart decision, but people are willing to do that. People who know that MMA fighters who go fight know they have a possibility to get knocked the fuck out. But guess what? They do it because they know I'm willing to risk it for this payday. I'm willing to risk it for this big fight with Conor McGregor. I'm willing to risk it. I know Conor is a dog. I know Bones Jones is a dog. But when I get in that ring, I'm willing to risk fighting that guy because of the payday that might come out, right?
Then that always brings me back to this though, Eddie. And then I have another issue with it because a lot of these guys who choose these lifestyles, and me and you, we know they not about their life. But as far as the people that they surround themselves by, they the best thing since sliced bread. these same guys risk their freedom to go to jail, right? They spend a lot of time focused on other guys as far as like killings, because it's a lot. It comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. That's why I always be like, if you really not sold into that lifestyle, don't pretend. That's a terrible game to play pretend. You know, motherfuckers play hide and seek. But I ain't trying to go to jail or get shot. I don't want to die. I also don't want to go to prison. I chose to be an accountant.
And then too, like, no lie, people, and I'm the opposite, folk. The ones who scare me the most are the ones who really not about their life. Because they'll do anything to prove that they're about their life.
Jesus.
People who are already about their life, you know how to operate around them.
Yeah.
You know what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? You know how to move and finagle with them. It's the ones who that don't really do that on the day-to-day that will do anything
They're scared.
to
They
prove
timid as hell.
themselves to you.
Yeah.
Or to the people who are around them who they deem
To show
important.
that they tough.
To show they tough. And they might do some goofy stuff in order to prove that they really about this stuff. And those are the ones that really frighten me. Because I know how to move around the ones who really about that.
What makes somebody about that life?
I think
in you, bro.
it's not only is it in you, I think you come from a lifestyle, you come from a family, you come from a group of people who have groomed you for
To be
better
that
or worse to be that way.
Yeah.
Like I said, the people we went to school with, bruh, they uncle was like that, they daddy was like that, they granddaddy was like that. This is
in
not
that-
something new. I
in that
didn't just
environment.
now it would have been different if me coming from where I came from decided to go to my high school and all of a sudden want to be about their life. Now they know that I'm not about their life, but I'm willing to do anything to prove to these guys I'm just like y'all. See, that's the one that
Shit
So,
pathetic as
so
hell,
do you
bro.
blame those people that were groomed to be like that to actually, or the people that are actually doing it? Do you blame them for doing it?
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
No.
I understand it, where they're coming from and what environment they're
understand the
raised in.
position.
But understand, at the end of the day, you have accountability for your life. So, like, no matter if you grew up in that situation or not, you have accountability for the actions you make.
Everybody ain't taught that.
I
You
think it has-
you might not be taught it, but you have accountability.
I think it has to be a certain point that you come to where you rationalize the actions that you're doing. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Because if the people that I deem to have good sense, to have good intentions, are the ones raising me, are doing these same activities, I think it's okay. It's not until I walk into different arenas to where I see like, oh, everybody don't do that? Oh, I thought it was normal because my uncle did and my granddad did and everybody else did. I thought it was cool. It's not cool. But it's to you when you venture out and you see like, oh, everybody don't operate like that, to where you kind of reflect. The thing I try to use this too, that I always kind of go back to justify that, is if I was raised Muslim, right? My grandma was a Muslim. My daddy was a Muslim. We all grew up Muslims. Whole community Muslims. I go to my cousin's house, go to Tim's house, he a Muslim. I go to play football, everybody on the team Muslims. And then a random day, this one Christian come to me and say, hey, you should stop being a Muslim. You should be a Christian. I'm like, man, get out of my face. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm a Muslim. What are you talking about? So who is that Christian to come tell that person that they're wrong?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say about that criminal, because his whole family was like that. So how
That's,
can you
that's what I'm
blame
saying.
him?
It's not until you get out there and venture out on your own, till you can make your own decisions.
I don't care about his family.
And maybe Christian and maybe religion was a good example, because I don't like to get into wrong or right religions or whatever.
Yeah, I was
But-
just going off like the family concept.
But I'm saying is it's not into let's say that I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting into what religion is right, wrong, X, Y, Z. I'm just using this example. It's not until that Muslim person gets out of that environment
They season
that he gets to interact with Jewish
Yeah,
people,
he get
Christian
exposed to
people,
other
Hindu people, whatever, that he can either open his mind and be like, oh, so there's other people here that are not Muslim. Okay, what you think? What you think? And he created his own decision based off what he's experienced. So I blame him for initially feeling like that? No, I blame him for one, if your actions are detrimental to the community and you don't know they're detrimental to the community is one thing. But once you get out there and you experience and you see that, oh, my actions actually have repercussions to innocent people, and you still decide to do that, then at some point you got to be like, come on, bro, what I'm doing is not right, bro. Like, I see the impact of what my crime is doing, and you still decide to do that, then it's a different story for me personally.
I can't forgive your ignorance. Not me. That's just me, because your first thing the first crime you commit could be something heinous. It could be you tried to rob this lady and you ended up shooting her. I don't care what your intent was. I don't, it's bad for the community. I don't care about what you grew up as. I don't care about your family.
That's why I went back and said that maybe religion was a bad example, because if what you're doing is harmful to the community,
that's what it is. The difference.
That's the difference. Because that's why I say religion was a bad example. But what you're if what you're doing is harmful to the community in whatever fashion, I can't forgive that. It's like that action is so unforgivable. If they walked up to your grandmama and stole a person, shot her in the head, I can't say, well,
they just kids.
He's a product of his community.
They just kids.
Nah, you walked up to you walked to the lady and shot her in the head. Now, whether your uncle did the same thing and all y'all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's a reason for it.
no, I agree with the reasoning. My reasoning still stands the same.
Wait.
I said my blaming system increases when your actions are more heinous.
And then you have to be accountable for your actions.
I don't care about that. That doesn't matter. That's not reality.
Y'all speaking from logic.
No, that's not. But that's
the
not
problem
reality.
with this
In reality,
conversation, what I'm trying
no,
to
but
say,
that's
bro.
not reality.
These people that are doing this type of stuff don't have any logic.
That's
They do.
not
They do have
reality.
logic.
They
That's
do
like
have logic.
being in a false
They've accepted
world.
the loss on it.
No,
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. Some people accept the risk.
It'd be different if I had never met a person that did these crimes. Their logic is dumb as fuck. I've met these people. No, it's dumb as fuck. I'm not changing what I said. It's dumb as fuck. For you to think that you can make more money robbing somebody at a fucking car light, at a stoplight, than fucking making more money at McDonald's is dumb.
Bro, there's a lot of people out here that think working a 9 to 5 is dumb.
And
That's what I'm saying. You can't just change the world.
No,
off of one
I
opinion.
get what you're saying. But you have to at one point you have to be held accountable. That's my part. Like, okay, you fucking robbed this damn mama that fucking been working her fucking life off to get this damn car. And she got a fucking 3 kids. Nigga, what the fuck is she supposed to do? Because your dumb ass don't want to work.
Okay,
That's why they have jails.
let's advance the conversation.
Okay, it's too late though. You ought to rob me. You ought to
And
try
you can't
to
or
held-
killed her.
you
I
can't be
ain't
held
killed them.
accountable for something you ain't did yet, folks.
They-
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They are actively doing this shit.
But until you do it the first time, somebody can't hold you accountable
I'm
for
saying,
that action.
hold on, let me get in. I'm saying that even though I completely understand why you would have felt like it was okay to do the shit that you did because of your family and what y'all do, I don't give a fuck, because that's not reality. Nobody gives a fuck.
That's
if you
their
do something-
reality.
If you do a crime, nobody's gonna check your background and say, do you come from a family of killers? Because nobody gives a fuck. You're going your ass to jail. That's the reality.
Yeah, I know that.
So
Their reality is still their reality.
So let's advance the conversation a little further then. So if we know that that's their reality, and 9 times out of 10, if you talk to them, they're not finna change their mind because they're like, bruh, like, who are you to talk to me? Or they've, like you said, accepted the risk of like, yo, I'm willing to deal with the consequences. What do we do to protect ourselves, our community, and our way of life, knowing that there are people out there who say, I've accepted the risk and I come from a family and this is what it is? What do we do to move forward? How do we police that? How do we still maintain our way of living?
Cut your losses.
Aye.
That's what
Blowing
that's
their
what
fucking head off.
businesses do.
But
That's what businesses do. When they start to lose money, they cut their losses. These motherfuckers are wasteful to the community. They serve no fucking purpose. I'm tired of the community, the older people, the elderly, saying, oh, they just kids, the parents stepping in, oh, they just kids, they babies, they don't know no better, fuck them.
Because my thing
I
is,
realize y'all are part of the loss. Right?
No.
Who, me?
The black people are the part.
no, that's it. Hey, bro, that's what I was just about to say. So why isn't it, since this is some shit that just happens all the time and we just gotta accept it, why don't it happen in every community?
Why not?
What you mean it don't have an agreement?
It don't.
That people robbing people, bumping into them, and fucking pulling the fuck off doesn't happen in every community.
Certain crimes are
That's just
are
a
done
different
by
type
certain
of crime.
Nope.
It's
That's
not
right.
as prevalent. So this is what I said
I
at
think
first.
it
When we
is
started,
prevalent, it just
no,
my God.
it's
You got
not.
a lot of black people.
No, it's not as prevalent.
You got black
So
people
we can
around
do
us.
it by percentages. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen as much in white communities as it happens in
not
black
true.
communities. It's just
All
not
the
true.
time.
It's just
That's
not
not
true.
true.
It's
It's
not
not
true.
I think
Well,
It's
I'm
not
more
fact.
white people than this black.
I said percentage. I didn't say amount. I said percentage.
that type
not
of
true.
crime only happens in a certain area.
That's my point.
See, I'm saying y'all breaking about types of crime. Crime is crime, bro.
That's-
No, it's
No,
not.
no,
No, it's not.
watch this.
No,
Crime
it's
is
not.
crime.
Watch this.
No, it's not.
In white community, they don't commit as many crimes by percentage. Not type of crime, not what they're doing. Percentage. Even fucking shooting a school up. They don't commit that crime as much as we do in the black community.
My thing is, when it comes to that same exact example, so for example, in Jackson, robbery, stuff like that goes on. They stick to one crime and that one crime only, and they do that. So whereas Jackson, that's going on here, in Madison, they beating the hell out their wives. Domestic violence is the number one crime over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's the type of crime that goes on.
I think it's the impact that it
I
has.
mean, and my other thing, it's not at the same rate. That's my thing. It's not at the same
Okay,
rate.
It's the impact.
It's
It's the impact because if
Impact
you,
on who?
on everybody around. Okay, so we're talking about the carjacking, right? Mm-hmm. And it's been us. It's been us getting carjacked. All the people who've been getting their cars stolen they've been black people.
Mm-hmm.
It affects the black people in that area. Let's just say I work in that area. Now I'm concerned. I feel like I'm in a dangerous area now because people in this area get robbed. People in this area get killed.
You are.
It's impacting the community. And now I feel like, damn, I can't even go to work. I can't even drive down the street. Now I don't even want to stop at the damn red light. I don't even want to go out to eat lunch. I just want to, it's impacting the whole area.
I did too. I think that no one truly has the answer to the problem that's going on. I just hate that we don't have a space to where we have to solve our problems real time in front of everyone. You know what I'm saying? We never get together, convene privately at our little meetings and get together and say, okay, this is our plan, do X, Y, Z, yada, yada. We have to fix our problems real time, live in front of TV. Imagine if you was a defensive coordinator and your defense is getting thrashed and they coming into your huddle every time out to say, all right, let's record what defense coordinator gonna do to fix this. And you gotta fix your problem real time, live, on camera, in front of people. That's the one thing I think we do too. We feel the need to explain stuff to everybody that's outside of this, that is not affected.
Yeah.
The people who need the explanation the most is the motherfucker who got their car stolen.
Yes.
Right? So why do I have to explain stuff to Madison? Why do I have to explain stuff to Pearl, to Brandon? Y'all ain't being affected, so don't worry about it. Y'all stay over there. It's for us in this area, we need to work on what we working on.
But
Oh my God.
But see, I talked to Vontae about this. 'Cause I know that was you. I talked about this shit. I said, for example, like, why do Madison get more funding than Jackson Public Schools? That's the dumbest shit ever to me.
They got white people.
No, that is why. Because one of the things I said is,
Black people are charity.
But you wonder why I fucking
No.
say we in the community? Because that's the reality.
Because I think motherfuckers in Mississippi need to hear this.
Is it because they got more money in the city?
They got more money. So why are you doing it tax based? Because Jackson brings in more money because it's more people. You're doing it tax based. So you're doing who makes more money?
makes
Pure
more
capital. So like, okay, we make more money in pure capital. Not bring in more money. They get more money. No, pure capital, we need fucking more money. We're the city of fucking Jackson. Why don't we have more money? Why do that school look nicer? It's a public school system.
Who would you rather give money to? Would you rather give money to somebody who don't need money, or would you rather give some money to somebody that needs more money?
The people that need more money, and that's Jackson Public School.
Why do you want to give the money to the people that
Because
need more money?
because
They need the
they
resources.
need the fucking resources. You see, we're dealing with less. We're less educated. Give the money to people that need the fucking money.
So you're going to give money to people that are less educated?
Yes.
Why?
You're giving them the
not less-
resources.
No, you're not giving
You're
them.
giving them
No.
resources.
You get the resources. The people not less educated. The teachers, so they can teach the less educated people. So you can get better teachers that's there.
So are the medicine people not the people that are more educated?
No. The people that this teacher,
They're better staffed
they're
and they
better
have better resources.
Now this is
And not you're not giving
Okay.
the money to the less educated people. You're giving it to the people that's teaching the less educated people.
Is it like the money that comes into Jackson has to be dispersed to more schools in Madison.
That's not how they do.
it's
It.
like,
No, that's not how they do it.
okay, I don't know how it works. That's why
No,
I'm
it's
asking.
they doing it by the people. Like, so for example, Madison, I'm just using an example. They make $300,000 per household.
Okay.
So you giving the people that versus Jackson that make $100,000 per household. You giving the people that they're
don't
more
make
money
it.
because
That's
their
not
tax back, just because their tax bracket is larger.
So because they paying more in taxes.
Yeah, but that's not more. They're not paying more taxes as a community because Jackson has more people in the community.
Okay.
And then I'll piggyback
It's
on that
not 100,000
conversation.
either. It's less.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I
he
can
just
hear
threw
it.
it.
It's less
I
like
threw another.
What I was saying was, I know the state awards schools who rise up a grade level. So like if your school was rated a C and you bumped up to a B, your school gets funding for going up
X amount of money.
X amount or whatever. You get an X amount of dollar amount for going up a letter grade as a school as a whole.
All right.
My thing is, you've already proven that you can raise a letter grade with less. So why shouldn't that funding go to a school who clearly doesn't have the resources that need to bump up a letter grade so they can bump up? Because you proved it. You proved that you can jump from a C to a B without this funding. But I'm going to give you funding to reward you for doing that. But this school over here, who's at a D, has been a D forever, probably is going to need that funding, but they're not getting it because they're not jumping to a level grade. That was my thing. That was like, that didn't make sense to me. But
It doesn't make sense to me too because poverty breeds on education. So you're grading because the grade comes off the test scores of the students. That doesn't have anything to do with how good the teachers are doing or how good that the people within the schools, how they organize things. It's just like you can have uneducated teachers because they're in poverty.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Just like basketball, football, you got salary caps. You got, and if we can afford to, because if you can do the same job and one job pays more, why make less?
Yeah, but see, Deion called that shit out. Why the fuck is Southern Miss getting their shit and we can't get our shit? We all in public schools. Deion called that bullshit
because
out.
This is again, my initial thing was a we, and my initial thing is the community, because even though everybody wants it to be equal, it's not.
It's
the
not.
reality of things is the reason why they get the funding is because they don't look like us. If the people are in charge, kids look like us, then the funding would go towards us. But because they do not, we do not live in the same areas, the security measures will not be the same.
That's why I appreciate Deion so much. Deion called that shit out. Yeah, we can fucking compete if we had the same fucking funding. Why we ain't got the fun? He ain't curse, of course, because he don't do that.
you doing a lot of curses. Like
Because I'm irritated about it. Because like,
It should irritate you. It
because
should bother you a lot.
Deion plainly said, yeah, we could compete if we got the same funding. It's Mississippi State, USM,
But think
and
about this,
Ole
folks.
Miss.
If I'm like you said, if I'm an alum of Ole Miss, I'm an alum of Mississippi State, I'm an alum of Southern Miss, and I'm also in Senate, where's my money going?
Where
I went to school.
Yeah.
Why would I send my money to Jackson State?
That makes perfect sense. Though.
Why would I send my money to Valley? Why would I send my money to Alcorn? The ones who have the power to disseminate money went to those institutions. And that's not even including the race aspect of it. Because proportionally, when you look at the number of, when you break down race who went there, we just talking about solely outside.
Yeah.
It's if you went to Jackson State and majority of the people in the Senate went to Jackson State, probably 9 out of 10, the majority of the money gonna go to Jackson State. But that's not even including the race portion. So if my school is now even more so threatened by Deion coming in and possibly doing something, oh, brother, you had to get out the mud because I'm not giving you no more money. Like, what we doing?
That's
here?
why. And honestly, that's why I think it takes someone like Deion
To call him out,
Because
take
he's
somebody of relevance to say something.
Because he's relevant. He don't give a fuck. Because he got money.
And Deion has the ability to raise funds on his own, unlike nobody else who was the quarterback. When you got people like Diddy and just random sponsors around the country for us to first of all, folks,
again, bro, that boy gave us
my little brief mediocre stint at Jackson State when I played, bruh, we had Russell. We upgraded to Nike when I left. That was a huge, like, oh my God, we got Nike, man, that's crazy. I wish I had Nike that was a big deal. And then for Deion to come right in and say, oh no, we rocking with Under Armour, we ain't doing Nike, cut that contract, we doing Under Armour. And for Under Armour be like, yes, I'll help cut the costs. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do the whole thing. That's influence. Because folks, in order to cut those contracts, you have to buy out. Like that's not something that Jackson State can afford to just cut a contract. What we doing?
And that's why
It takes a person of influence. Like
that's I kind of agree with you. It takes people of influence and people that have money. Like for Deion got money. He don't give a fuck. Because to me, he don't get paid enough at Jackson State. So like his contract, if he went to a say just not even a Power 5 school, he can make $1 million a year where he may be making $350,000, and he's cutting that shit in half to give to Jackson State. And that's where the unfunded. We all public schools, but he got to cut his own fucking contract in half just to give Jackson State funding.
Yeah.
So like that's why I say it ain't all black people's fault. It is part of what you say is who know who.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it. Like, why the fuck am I giving you money? I don't know you. My kid ain't going to that fucking school.
But see, that's not what the fuck. This is my problem. Even though you're in that position, it's not your fucking money. You're supposed to do right
By the
people.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's the state and each school is supposed to get a certain amount of funding, don't continue to fuck over us because we don't look like you and we don't go to those schools, because it's not just one school that's getting the funding. They're cutting and slicing and dicing it up. Shit, a little bit for you, a little bit for you, a little bit for you. And by the time it's time to give us a little bit, it's all we got left, brother.
Man, I'm a history guy. I don't want to bore people with history, but in your free time, look up how Alcorn was started with the funding, because it is a land-grant college, and then look up how Mississippi State was funded. Just on your free time, look that up, and you'll be interested in what you see, because it goes right along with what you're saying.
Oh man, listen. I'm a part of history, AD.
But just for a little short Cliff Note version, Alcorn was supposed to be founded first before Mississippi State got up and rolling, but things happened.
Of course they happen.
But anyway, I mean, like, and it gets exhausting, bro. It gets exhausting because, like, at a time, and like being black, bro, it's so many issues. Because I do feel a part of the culture. That's why I say it's a blessing and a curse. Yeah. Because even though I want to be like, oh no, that was just Daquan doing it, it wasn't me.
That's not real.
It's in my DNA, in my fiber to be like, no, we together. And so it's like we have so many issues at one time to deal with. It get exhausting. And when it gets exhausting, you become desensitized. Yeah. So whenever it's George Floyd, whenever it's school funding, whenever it's all the things we talked about today, it's like it's so many doggone issues, bro. It's just frustrating, and you feel like, nah, fuck it, I'm just gonna look out and make sure me and my people good.
And I don't never really have a problem with that, but because the frustration and the build up always hits, like, and it's always bad timing for me. Like, I be good, like I'm at the happiest I've ever been, and now I'm pissed the fuck off because they robbing people and they killing them, and it's like, bro, people work hard for what they have, bro. Even if it's just a little bit, people work hard for what they got. And I'm like, even though I want to just say, fuck them folks, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I can't do that because in reality, no matter what I do, I'm creating a space for the next person who looks like me. Mm-hmm. It's not just because I'm such a great worker. I don't I don't get mad at work. I don't ever want to snap on nobody. I don't ever want to just put my hand. No, I don't want to be that person. That's not what I want to represent, because I see how it affects the community. I see how it affects the area. I see how it affects the education. I see how it affects the jobs. They're not gonna hire you. I'm creating a great name for the Devontaes around the world.
And
that's a black name.
And the frustration that comes is because you think like that, I think like that. I feel like everybody in this room feel that way. It's like, yo, I have to quote unquote make a good impression because it's somebody that come behind me that might have to deal with similar stuff. The frustration comes is when the random dude robbing people at the gas station, he don't feel that way. Yeah. He don't feel like, yo, I'm probably making the black community look bad by doing the stereotypical bullshit they think we gonna do anyway. And they don't feel it. It's like, nah, it's what it is. I'm just doing it by myself. The people who go out there and randomly cursing people out of the store, doing a stereotypical mad black woman black shit. She not thinking like, you know what? it's another black woman come here. They probably gonna treat her a certain way if I snap the fuck out
Because
right now.
you act this way.
Because you act this way. So the next black person who not even on that, just coming to ask you a question, might get treated a certain way because you spazzed the fuck
And then
out.
I know it's gonna be a group of people who feel like, well, why we gotta do this and why we gotta behave like this and why we can't express ourselves. And the thing is, the reality of it, no matter how you feel, is we don't have that privilege.
You know why we don't have that privilege? Because we haven't created our own space as black people to be totally 100% however they want to be.
Yeah.
Chinatown exists across the country because they grouped together and made Chinatown. You can speak in Chinatown. They're not speaking English. They speaking whatever language they speak. Jewish communities, they could be 100% Jewish in their community. Why? Because we all Jewish, we all pulled together, and we created a space to where we could be ourselves. We're trying to be quote unquote culture, quote unquote black people, and not have to adapt and assimilate to the communities, but we living in communities where we're not the predominant people. We haven't created our own space in order to do like that. So do I want to create our own space? Of course. Who wouldn't want to create our own
I'ma tell you
space?
the truth,
But I'm a person who feel like I have to play with the cards that I was dealt. So I'm not finna sit here and whine about these cards I was dealt. I'm finna play this hand. But what you about to say?
I was gonna say that we do have an area where we're the predominant group of people.
And what's that?
I'm not gonna say.
Come on, Jackson.
No, that's
Africa.
Atlanta.
they have just like they have Chinatowns and have these Jewish communities. They just don't call ours that.
They call them ghettos.
Exactly.
They call them ghettos, but things that happen in that community. And then too, let's take the race aspect away from it.
Let's take it away then.
In those areas, is certain things that don't. Go
What you
ahead.
got, Brent?
That's really not the same though,
Well, it's not.
because the black folks that's in the ghetto not running the ghetto. Like AD said, the Chinese folks, they came together to run Chinatown.
And then
They group it by the people though.
those ghettos, they built that and put a bunch of black people in that area.
Yeah.
They built the project and said it's low income for African American black people. All y'all go here.
All right.
Whereas Chinatown, they chose a spot and said, this us, we're going to pool our funds, resources together. But even using that example, let's still go back to that example. Go back to the example. In those situations, certain stuff goes on there that has absolutely nothing to do with race. Property value. Race has nothing to do with me keeping my yard cut, making sure I keep up my house, making sure I do certain things around the neighborhood, X, Y, and Z. That has nothing to do with that. Breaking in people's cars and stuff like that, X, Y, and Z. Like you said, they can go get a job. They can do other stuff. Certain stuff I feel like doesn't totally come from race. A lot of this stuff we could fix on our own. We just choosing not to. And that's what irritates me a lot too. You know what I'm saying? If I come into this neighborhood, you know you in the hood. Why? Because the way the motherfucker look, like, oh shit,
Yeah, this
I'm here. But
It's
it don't
kinda
have
sketchy looking
it don't
right
have
here.
to be like
Look
that.
like that.
It don't have to be like that.
No, it doesn't. I completely agree with it.
The lack of effort and care that it takes to upkeep this is what makes it look like that.
And then one of the things I talked to the streets about that, but a lot of black people don't have ownership. So like ownership means that you have something that has value. And a lot of people they rent these places out and don't give a fuck about how it look. Like people be like if you don't like paying for this shit, you don't give a fuck the reinvestment of this thing. You just don't give a fuck about it. Like a lot of these places in Jackson, they owned by white people. You stand in that motherfucker not taking care of the grass, but you fucking gonna pay rent forever.
Yeah, I was about to say rent and a mortgage is different. Like you pay for a house, you see something wrong with it, you gotta do it
Yeah.
yourself. You can't just call a
Yeah.
maintenance man.
You have a sense of ownership. You feel like this.
Yeah,
belongs
so
to
like, and that's my thing with black people. We don't have a lot of ownership.
And then too, my thing is, I think that's a personal thing. I personally feel like you don't get blessed with other things if you don't take care of what you currently got.
Thanks.
True.
If I'm half-assing what I currently got, I don't take care of it, I don't do X, Y, and Z to it. Why would you be blessed with something else? I believe in
You ain't
God.
past this level yet.
You know what I'm saying? I believe in God, but even on a natural level, why would somebody give you something if you're not taking care of what you already got? If your granddaddy, when you graduated high school, gave you a car, and you graduated college, you want another car, but you went dog that one out, that brand new car. Why would he give you something else? You don't get blessed with things if you don't take care of what you currently have.
But you know that's a saying though. Like, you don't appreciate things that you didn't have to get on your own. Like, if you didn't have to pay for it, you're not going to value it the same. So it's like, it's a difference between the car that moms gave you or pops gave you, and you driving it and you speed and you wrecking it and you denting it up. But once you get your own car and you're paying for it, I promise you don't drive this fast. You want to make sure people ain't eating in your car. Don't waste that shit in my car. Hell no, you can't smoke in here. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of value.
I think some people don't look at money like that. Some people still don't value it like you would think. If they paying for it.
But that's a hit on the last podcast. That's because they don't manage money well. And a fact that I wanted to say last podcast that I actually forgot is over 70% of the U.S., this is a country,
Living
lives
paycheck to check,
paycheck to paycheck. Meaning that even if you make more than the average salary in your state or your city, you still live the same way as the person who lived in the ghetto, the same person that lived in Chinatown, the same person. Y'all all living the same way.
Just because you bringing in more don't mean you can do
Because
more.
of the, not because you don't value money, because the motherfucker tell you real fast, oh, I'm gonna get a bag. I'm gonna get a bag. You also gonna spend a bag.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of people who receive their bump in pay they also get a bump in lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
It counters.
You offset your whatever raise, whatever bonus, whatever promotion you got. You offset it because you just recently purchased a new car. You recently purchased the XYZ. Like, so now you didn't offset that bump in pay that you ain't got. You get it and you go right back out.
You gotta sacrifice a couple years to save up to have that money to spend that lifestyle to where you can always be ahead and not right where you at.
Yeah, man, but
How people go, man.
it is what it is, man. Like I
People be
said,
hoping for the lottery though. That's all.
man, I was hoping
I
for
was
the
hoping
lottery.
for it.
I was hoping for the lottery, boy, when
I
you
knew I
played.
said I wouldn't leave, but shit, that would have paid me. I would have been up out of there.
But nah.
You bought tickets? You bought tickets?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's a scam, right?
Hey, you know what's crazy
That's
though?
fine.
You know
but
what's
that
crazy?
one bill,
You know what's crazy?
I had to at least try to.
The person who won the money, even though it was $1 billion, they only got like 400.
400. Yep, for taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit, it was still worth it.
What's that name?
Huh? What's their name?
they staying anonymous.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know.
They
damn.
say they
Exactly.
from Illinois.
What you
They
mean?
from
a
Illinois,
Ponzi
but the
scheme.
actual
I was
person.
It really don't exist. That's what you're
It
saying.
don't. You never see the balls on TV where they show you the exact numbers it was, how they got the numbers. It's man, all this every day.
guess
Somebody's
with-
paying somebody.
I guess with the chances though, you really can't just say whether it is or not though, because it's like
All they gotta do to prove
one in
it's
a
real.
million that you
You know how they
need to
do the
be that
NBA
person.
lottery? They roll the little thing, the balls come out. Just do that on live TV so people see the numbers come out and see exactly the number order that came out. All that. That's all they gotta do.
I just made myself feel. I just made myself feel better that I at least tried.
They just put it on the internet and then say somebody won. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
they just say they won.
And they just use the
They
money and
still got
scratch
the
money.
money. Yeah, they still got the money.
That'll be hilarious.
But this is what it is for
This is my first time I ever played.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so
even if it's real, most of the money is just tax money. They just the United States.
You
get
better
taxed.
off doing scratch out because some people actually win on them.
hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm probably not gonna ever play again, but I'm saying like when it hit one,
That's a real.
When it hit one bill,
hit a bill,
they say
I'ma play
play.
again.
They make it a game.
yeah.
They make you feel like you like doing something.
And I
That
think
shit just like a
personally,
fucking junk email. Like they send you that shit. You won.
yeah. But see, I personally don't have like an addictive personality.
Yeah,
But for like people who like real deal, like
Nah, there's some people
gamble.
legit every week they going to buy a lottery ticket stuff like that.
Oh,
Like,
so
it's
it's
some
just
people
like-
like that's in their budget.
It's just like Squid Games.
I ain't never seen Squid Game.
Fuck out of here, Red. Come
I
on,
ain't
y'all
watch
didn't
it.
see that shit.
I
Oh
seen
my
it.
god,
I heard it,
bro.
I
watched the first
I ain't gonna lie to you, I
Don't worry
don't really
about it,
watch
bro.
popular shows when
I
they get
watched
high
the
like
first
that
one.
because I be
God,
thinking they
bro.
be extra.
It was
You would love Squid Games.
It was.
Would,
No,
bro,
you
that's
wouldn't.
crazy.
No, you wouldn't.
He only watched
Brent
the first
would love it. You would love
episode.
it, folks.
Bram, no, you wouldn't.
Folks, you didn't watch the whole
That's
episode.
crazy.
You didn't
I
watch the whole
watched-
show.
I watched-
You just
I
said
didn't
you
know
only
that-
watched the first episode on
It
camera.
was
I
bullshit.
just know they
man.
were killing folks. That's all I know about it.
Bro, but
Rich.
this whole setup was great.
Brent.
You're not gonna watch it. Fuck it.
I'm
The
not gonna
whole
watch it.
setup was great though.
I might watch
the
2 years
fact
from
that
now.
people
Brent.
had
How you
all
gonna listen
these
to somebody that only
issues.
seen one episode?
That's
You only
crazy.
seen one
That's
episode.
insane. You can't even give
I'm
your
not finna go
fucking.
back and forth with this nigga. Let's end this podcast if I get mad. Bro. Okay.
Oh, that's some
You
bullshit.
gonna hit him on camera?
You only seen one. Only seen one episode.
What was it, 10 episodes?
So what that?
What was it, 10 episodes?
Yeah. And then they came out with a second season.
First of
You're full
all,
of shit.
I watched the episode and a half.
So you
let's
lied
see.
to our face.
Yes, I watched the first episode and a half.
So he lied to you. So why would you believe his opinion? He just lied to you.
Brent.
I mean, I'm not taking anybody's opinion.
All right, don't take his because he a liar.
It don't look like
Those
my
fuckers
wife.
don't like the shit.
You said who?
They addictive personalities.
They heard it was good and they started watching,
Watch it.
and they just continue to watch it.
Was nothing good about it. What was good about AD?
You only watched the
No,
episode and a half. What the fuck?
Okay, my bad. DJ, what was good
Watch
about
it and see.
DJ,
Watch it and
Watched
see.
it. I love the setup.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because it was realistic.
don't
It was
explain it.
realistic.
It was a good
It
plot.
was realistic.
What was realistic about it?
Because
Don't
if
explain nothing
70,
to him,
no,
folks.
fuck him, AD.
Don't explain. He didn't
I'm
watch
explaining
it.
to, I'm explaining to Brent because if 70% of the U.S. people are living check to check, they can relate to this fucking movie.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Well, TV series.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the people in the TV series who competed in the competition, they all were in fucking debt.
And they
They
was
all owed money out the ass that they couldn't afford to pay back. Some of them was,
One of them about to get killed. One
Right.
way or the other.
it's just debt on top of debt, and that's
why can
reality.
Brent
That's
relate to
reality
that?
because
Yeah.
if
He's not gonna die because it's dead. Shut your ass
it
up
was
in
a
the
game
podcast.
show.
Shut
You
your
stupid.
ass
You
up in the
stupid fuck.
podcast,
He
bitch.
couldn't even get through 2 episodes.
Shut
He's
your-
stupid as fuck. He about as dumb as these carjackers.
See how you changing the topic because your
It's
ass
the
got
same
proved wrong.
fucking thing. It's
Brent,
people.
Brent,
It's so
I don't
many
think
people
you
in
gonna die
debt
'cause you-
that the president is trying to forgive debt, right? Shut your dumb ass up. They can relate to this fucking series.
Yeah.
He should have fucking watched it with
Yeah.
his motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
But they decide because you don't have to play the fucking game.
Hey, folk, in the podcast.
You don't have to play the game, Brent.
Yeah.
They invite you to play the fucking game because they know you ain't worth the fuck.
You a sucker.
Just
for example, one of the dudes, his mom was like dumb sick
Yeah.
or whatever.
He needed the fucking money.
to help or whatever.
Also, if you win, you win money.
yeah, you
Yeah.
get a shit ton of money.
Oh, don't give it a side
So
story.
it's
Tell
no
about the
difference
nigga
from
that-
reality with these people who rob people feeling like they're gonna come up, or these people who sell drugs who feel like they're gonna come up. In reality, they're gonna either die.
First of all, I'm not finna argue with a guy who can't keep his
That's what
eyes
I'm saying. He
open
don't have the
on a
fucking
podcast. You
attention.
got your eyes closed. You about to fall asleep.
I'm not about to fucking fall asleep.
He got the attention span of a fucking fifth grade.
Man, I didn't have my fucking eyes
Man, in
closed.
this podcast, bro.
Yeah, in the podcast before I slap shit at you.
Bro, this nigga got the attention span of a fucking 5-year-old. God damn.
Just because I don't want to watch
Yeah, Squid Games, you dumb
Suicide.
bitch.
Use your words.
Man, let me end this fucking podcast before I slap this dumb motherfucker.
bitch, please.
Watch it.
Bitch, please.
Okay.
It's-
Yeah, I know.
You can watch Suicide
As-
Games by yourself.
It's Squid Games, you ignorant. Okay, as always, views.